And a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go. In a moment it will be picked up.
Bit of sun's out, bum's out.
And a begging I will go. Step off, squirrel. This is my treat.
Nastee Chapel.
Hello!
Welcome. My name is NatalieGrace.
And I am Steve.
And together we are Nastee Chapel. We're two bards with a passion for song and story. And what have we got for them today?
Today you are watching our series Into the Song, where we are going to tell you the story of the song, we're going to tell you the history, a little message, and then we are going to play the song to you at the end.
We have a right good deep dive into a song, if I do say so myself. And what is the song that we have for them today?
Today we are going to share with you the song A Begging I Will Go. Old English / Scottish folk song.
Ooh, a little bit of folk music for you.
Lovely,
And
lovely.
today I have the blanket of listening and comfort. And you're going to tell me all the things that you found out about A Begging I Will Go. So go get yourselves a blanket, get yourselves a little cuppa, and join us.
Alright, so story. We're going to start this a little bit differently this time. I'm going to ask you, NatalieGrace, what do you know about this song, A Begging I Will Go?
Well, I know there's a beggar. And he seems pretty happy in life. You know, it's pretty. I believe his words are, "I am reet content." There's a bit of sun's out, bums out.
Sun's out, bums out, yep. A little bit of that, you know, not a care in the world, not a care in the world. Now this song, people, I love it. I love it. But that will be for the message. I'll tell you a bit about that. So, that was very good, very good. Well done.
Not bad,
Lovely little explanation of what
Thank you.
this song is. So, I'll give you a quick little story. The story of the song is, our protagonist is a beggar, as we heard. But this is not some down and out beggar who's begging as a last resort. No, no. This is a beggar fully by choice. This is a beggar that sees begging as a trade, okay? A literal trade, like a job. And in the song, they articulate the reasons why they see it as a trade and why they see this trade as the best trade in the land. All right.
Big words, big words, big words.
Yeah, exactly. So the first time I heard this song, I was like, yo, this guy is so happy begging. What's going on here? And it just grabbed my brain. It grabbed my brain. So let's look into the origins of A Begging I Will Go.
Let me get comfy. I can't sit in one spot for too long. It makes my brain hurt.
So, with many a song that is rumoured to be at least 350 years old, you are bound to find many different origin stories. Our version is based on the version of Martin Carthy and Dave Swarbrick from Martin Carthy's first album back in not 16, that would make the man very old.
Not quite that old.
Back in 1965. So we thought for the history of the song, we'll start there. Now,
Can I add something
Yes.
about Martin Carthy and Dave Swarbrick?
Please.
Because this is a perfect example of a little phrase that we have with each other to communicate during songwriting. So when approaching this song, Steve would say, "Okay, I'm gonna be Martin Carthy," because he's the one singing the song and playing the guitar. And then he'd say to me, I'd be Dave Swarbrick, but we have a verb called swarbrickin'. So Steve would say to me, can you just do some swarbrickin' over this song? Which means just taking your instrument and shredding and, you know.
Just improvising. Because that's what
it.
that man Dave Swarbrick was amazing at. He's a fiddle player, violin player, if you don't know. And Martin Carthy would be playing the song and Dave Swarbrick would just be adding some excellence over the top. Some context, some drama, you know.
So feel free to take that one with you. A swarbrickin' we will go.
Swarbrickin' we will go. Thank you, Dave Swarbrick. So, yes, our version is based on Martin Carthy, Dave Swarbrick's version. So we thought we'd start there to look at the history. And then Martin Carthy said that their version was based on the version of Ewan McCall. So we looked there, and this is what we learned. The earliest mention of the song is in Richard Brome's stage play, A Jovial Crew, which was first staged back in 1641. Damn, that's old. That's where I got that date 16 something from. Now, I love this play. It's epic. In the play, this song was known as the Beggar's Chorus, so it wasn't And a Begging I'll Go Yet. William Chapel notes in his book, Popular Music of the Olden Times, that this song didn't appear in the first printed text of A Jovial Crew, so he suggests that it was probably an actor's improvised edition. Yo! As I said, I love this play. When I read about it, A Jovial Crew, oh my god, I'd love to have myself a Jovial Crew. Please join our Jovial Crew, people. Now, the general gist of A Jovial Crew goes like this. We start off with a character called Old Rents, who's a gentleman and a landowner. He is a warm-hearted man, lovely man, and a countryman. But he is depressed because he is preoccupied with a fortune teller's prediction that his two daughters will become beggars. To make matters worse, Old Wren Stewart, who he is very fond of, who is called Springlove, excellent name, comes to Old Wren's and he requests leave for the spring and the summer to follow the beggars around the countryside. And Old Wren's isn't best pleased about this because, to be honest, he would love his Stewart to just bloody act a little bit more like a gentleman. He would like him to go around travelling respectfully. So he says, right, Springlove, I will give you leave, but please take man, take money, take horse, so that you can travel respectfully like the gentleman you are. Springlove kicks against this because he says the bird song of the nightingale and the cuckoo calls him to vagabondage. As Old Wren Stewart, Springlove has been looking after the local beggar folk by becoming a friend to them, giving them some money, giving them some food and things.
Being a right good guy.
Right good guy, exactly. Now, once Springlove joins the beggars, he actually turns out to be a bit of a leader among them. Because really, in his heart, you can see he's a bit of a free-spirited person and he just wants to break loose from the keeping of the appearances.
I want to break free.
Not long after this, oh damn, poor Old Wren's, because that fortune teller's prediction comes true and his daughters join Springlove and the begging crew because they have come to deplore their father's depressed state and to deplore the staid order of their own lives and just wanting to break free a little bit and, you know, frolic around the countryside without having to keep up appearances and, you know, be stiff upper lip noble people.
All the pressures of nobility.
Exactly. They were longing for liberty. To be free. All right.
Aren't we all?
So, even though William Chapel calls the Beggar's Chorus improvised edition, this song, A Begging I Will Go, very much fits into this play. It seems that this song is more common in Scotland than in England. However, according to Ewan McCall, both the 19th century Lancashire version, which is closest to the version we will play you, and the Scottish version that appears in Robert Ford's Vagabond songs and ballads of Scotland, shares verses in common with the Beggar's Chorus from the stage play A Jovial Crew. So basically, it seems that all of the songs, the English versions and the Scottish versions, they have verses in common with this stage play, which is the oldest reference of it. I've gone a little bit further and I checked all three of these songs, and I can absolutely say that the very first verse shares the same sentiment. So they are all saying, of all the trades that ever existed, a begging is the best. And then a begging I'll go, a begging I'll go. The Scottish version has a very interesting viewpoint when you look at it, because in the Scottish version, it seems that beggars are much more respected in the culture. And you can tell this by verses like, and I will to the tailor, they will call him Holy Grey, and get him to make a cloak for me that will help me night and day. So, you know, why would a tailor just make you a cloak for free?
Is that something to do with how in Scotland, King, I want to say James, some king, he gave us some kind of special permission to beggars to beg in the streets if they promised that they would pray for king and country?
Yes,
And
very much so. And you're getting...
that beggar was, yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh.
I will tell you. I will tell you about that.
I'm trying to read here, woman!
Basically, you see in the song, the more English version, the beggars kind of more out there grafting, you know, doing their begging thing. In the Scottish version, there's these verses where they go to a tailor and the tailor makes them a cloak. They go to the cobbler and the cobbler fixes their shoes. Yo, what's going on here? Now, this excerpt from Martin Carthy's sleeve note from his first album, Martin Carthy, explains what you literally just said beautifully.
This is why I read it, obviously.
So, it says, begging really was a trade in Scotland when the king distributed alms to an order of paupers known as beadsmen, or bedsmen, you thought. I don't know. Tell us in the comments. If you know, yeah, it's literally spelled bedesmen.
Yeah.
B-E-D-E-S men.
I put my bet on bedsmen. It could be
Bedsmen.
beadsmen.
I like that. In bed together.
Tell us what you think.
Beadsmen, bedsmen, who in return were supposed to pray for king and state. So the king gives you alms to an order of certain paupers. You have to be called a beadsman or bedsman. In return, they will pray for the king and state. In Scotland, a general respect for beggars hung around long after the practice of beadsmen died out. Now, I would like to add one more thing. The Beggar's Chorus from A Jovial Crew has two verses which I loved, because this one is really showing the way they are enjoying begging is they've strengthened themselves in such a way that they don't need the societal structures so much. And these two verses tells you why, which I love. Within a hollow tree I live, and there I pay no rent. You don't need to pay no rent for the hollow tree. Maybe you got to fight off some squirrels or something. Providence provides for me, and I am well content. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. I fear no plots against me, no. But live in an open cell, then who would be a king? When a beggar lives so well. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. Step off, squirrel, this is my tree.
Step down.
Okay, we got through that bit. You know what? Whenever history happens, his story, I get a bit nervous because, you know, It's words that someone wrote down. If you say it and they're like, you misquoted that or whatever, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just try my best.
We are but silly little bards, jesters.
All right, so
historians.
Please, if you do have more to add to that, and I know there's so much more to add, please add it in the comments. Shout it or say it quietly. Say it however you will. We would love to know.
Well, I think, what can I take from that lovely look into the past that you gave us? Thank you so much. Very nice. What strikes me as interesting that I didn't know about this until what you just said was that this was noble people. Noble daughters and the steward of a noble landowner.
This is in the stage play, A Jovial Crew.
Yeah, where it started. Yeah. Looking at begging and seeing a sense of freedom that they don't have in their lives. And I think for a lot of people, because money is such a struggle for everybody in our world today, I think it's very, very easy to look at somebody who has lots of money and assume that they just have no problems whatsoever and that, well, they must be fine. They can't suffer, they can't struggle because they've got money or they own land. But it's not true. They might not be struggling for money in the same sense as someone else is, but they can still struggle with their sense of freedom, their sense of control over their life, all of those rules and things that they have to adhere to so strictly. So I can see how this play would be born in the 17th century, showing these noble people going, oh my gosh, can I just free myself from these shackles and go and join this troop of beggars and dance and sing and beg around the countryside.
It seems as well that this play was very, it was popular. It was a banger back in the day. It's a banger. People liked it. And even, I think it was even staged to Charles II at some point. But they censored it. Sadly, they censored it. They censored it because they were like, telling Charles, yo man, your money and stuff, it doesn't mean no. It's not true freedom, Anyway, so I think they were a bit scared, so they censored it a little bit.
I love the people and the people love me, so much that they restored the English monarchy. Charles II. If you know what that's from, you have to comment.
You know what? Actually, yeah, to be honest, it seems like maybe he would have been the guy to play along, but who knows? I just want to read...
monarchs, perhaps, yeah.
So what I want to say for the message, in today's climate, beggars tend to get a lot of people's goats. Okay, a lot of people who are really caught up with money and land and owning stuff and Now, we are not speaking against anyone. I want to do a bit of like an unbiased approach, but the reason I love this song, the reason I chose this song is when we first started Nastee Chapel, when I first quit my job, because we're doing this full time now, the first thing we did is we just went out busking. And when I typed into Google, just to figure out the busking rules, the first thing that came was, is busking begging? And I was like, what? That wasn't a thought in my head. But so that's when I found this song, I was like, yo, this is a beggar by choice. This beggar has strengthened themselves in such a way they are happy whether they have lots or whether they have a little. And they don't count on any outside things, they don't count on anyone telling nice things to them or telling mean things to them. Their happiness is completely kept for themselves, their experience of life completely within themselves. And that was such a inspiration. It's always such an inspiration to me. First, I've got to make my experience of life a nice one, by putting my attention on the things that I want to see, the things that I want to be in this life. And then you go out and do things, and you do things based on that criteria. And I think this is what the person in the song is so beautiful. And I just want to cry. Yeah, they just like, first, I get my mind straight, I get it on what I want to see in the world, and then I go and do it. And then based on doing those kind of things, you will find that the universe bloody just, that's what you will have. You put out the things that you want to see, and then eventually you will get the things that you want to get, like that.
Yeah.
And if you don't get them, you realize, oh, actually, it's not just up to me. This is what this beggar is sort of on about as well. It's not up to them what happens on the outside, but what happens on the inside, 100% up to them.
That's what they can control.
Yeah.
And just because you don't have lots of money in this world doesn't mean that you don't have things to offer the world. With the Scottish king giving alms to beggars if they would pray for king and country, that is an example of the most sort of highest up person in the country, like the king, recognizing the power and potential of people who have absolutely nothing physical to give to king and country. They don't have money or whatever, but he could see that they could give something energetically. Now you might think, now he phrased it in terms of praying. That might not resonate with your understanding of what a person could offer, but perhaps just thinking of it as what vibe do you give off to people?
Lovely.
There are some people
sanctifying.
There are some people today that there are people that we know because we go busking a lot. So we meet a lot of street folk, and there are some people who have such a beautiful atmosphere around them. They smile at you. They're so warm and kind, and
take my money.
No, take it.
Okay,
take it. But that is such an important and beautiful thing that you have to share with the world. All right, let's now share with you all our performance of A Beggin' I Will Go.
Of all the trades in England, a begging is the best. For when a beggar's tired, they can lay them down and rest. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. I've a pocket for me oatmeal, and another for me salt. I've a pair of little crutches that should see how I can hold. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. There's patches on me fusty coat, and a black patch on me. But when it comes to twopenny ale, I can see as well as thee. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. Me breeches, they are no but holes, but me heart is full of care. As long as I have me belly full, me backside can go bare. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. I've been deaf at Duncanfield, and I've been blind at shore, and many's the reet and willing lass I've bedded in the straw. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. There's a bed for me where'er I lie, and I don't pay no rent. I have no noisy looms to mind, and I am reed content, and a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. I can rest when I'm tired, and I heed no master's bell. You men be daft to be a king, when beggars live so well. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. Of all the trades in England, a begging is the best. For when a beggar's tired, they can lay them down and rest. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go, and a begging I will go, and a begging I will go.
Woo!
Go.
Lovely.